Welcome and good day. How are you doing? My name is Prey. I'm currently taking a master's degree in ASEAN Studies at University of the Philippines Open University. Today, I'll be sharing you about my whole experience in Anilao, Batangas, scuba diving, and will relate it to ASEAN 204, which is one of my courses as a second year student here at UPLU. Just to give you a bit of an intro, this new hobby of mine started just a casual invite, and maybe I was just too allocentric type of traveler, or sometimes they say wanderer. So I did try it. So yeah, the title of my presentation for today is Deep Dive Mabini Back in the 1970s, Scuba Diving Experience in Anilao, Batangas. I listed at least three objectives. One is to explain how scuba diving started in the province of Batangas. So I'll be discussing briefly a study on the geographical location of Anilao, Batangas, and identify the natural resources present in the location. Second is to discover on how scuba diving became part of the local culture. So I will be explaining scuba diving from a cultural perspective and find out why it is called as a nudie brand capital of the Philippines. The third is to identify changes in lifestyle of locals, culture, and religion. So from there, I'll be explaining how scuba diving activity changed the way of life of locals and tackle Anilao's underwater photo festival that is held annually. The Philippines has been blessed with long coastlines and marine biodiversity that contributed to its name, the Pearl of the Orient. Yet perhaps one of the widely more known areas of the country is Anilao, where beautiful and diverse marine life biodiversity led to it becoming a tourist hotspot. Consequently, the people of Anilao changed along with the tides of the time as they strived to profit from the economic boom. Let's now visit Anilao on the surface. So that is the picture I took when I first visited the area. So a friend invited me to go there, and that is in Anilao, Batangas port. So Anilao is not just one community in the province of Batangas, but refers to numerous communities nearby that profited from the tourist boom that started in its namesake barangay. It is a coastal area and much of its resources came from the sea. As a coastal community, the natural resources that Anilao has ranges from seafood such as fish, squid, crabs, and other type of edible sea creatures. While fishing for these critters, this helps some community members earn a living. It is actually the non-edible sea life that drives Anilao worldwide popularity. With a wealth of sea life that includes whale shark or butandi, manta rays, barracuda, and of course the nudie brand that brought Anilao its worldwide fame, it's no surprise that scuba diving has become a tourist attraction in what was once a predominantly fishing community. Scuba diving in Anilao has become increasingly popular hobby for many recent years. For those unfamiliar with it, the word scuba is abbreviation of self-contained underwater breathing apparatus, the very thing that allows divers into the depths of sea. Therefore, scuba diving is the activity wherein one can dive down the sea while breathing with the help with an oxygen tank. In Anilao, scuba diving has become a way of life and a business in its own right. As it goes, this activity in the area around the 1970s, when Anilao was still nothing more than a fishing village. When its potential to become a scuba diving destination was discovered, beach resorts offering scuba diving lessons and trips opened all over the places, turning it into an international tourist destination it is today. Let's now check Anilao's scuba diving scene. So it was primarily due to the large population of the nudie brand that this tourist boomed oh so much. Without this, Anilao would not be what it is today. But what is a nudie brand? As you can see on the video, I'll be showing you more. National Geographic says nudie brand are mollusks, much like abalones and conchs. However, unlike Their edible cousins, nudibranch, don't have any shells. They can also reproduce on their own or through mating, depending on the environment. They come in a wide range of colors and sizes. Anilao became as became known as nudibranch capital of the world because of the large population of the nudibranch within its water. Buceo Anilao, one of the well-known resorts in the area, has said that there are more than 600 different kinds of nudibranchs in Anilao alone, thus contributing to once quiet barangay claim to a worldwide fame. Aside from nudibranchs, vast biodiversity also resides there, adding more to this truly amazing true tourist spot. So this slide is another example of a nudibranch. Going back, fame does not come with a price. It is not only an allow waters that change, but also the people who reside in the land. Let's talk about and move forward with Anilao as a tourism spot. So there was a research from students from Lyceum of the Philippines University in Batangas. They have pointed out that its status as a diving destination essentially drives Anilao's fame. However, there are also concerns about whether it would keep up its impeccable international image, especially since tourist destinations are prone to many risks. Adding to that, Anilao's people have become so reliant on the tourism industry to make a living, and a picture of how things are truly going there will emerge. In 2020, Anilao's dive operators appealed to the government for scuba diving to be allowed once more. This was at the height of the COVID-19 pandemic, where tourism as a whole was ground to all over the world. More than 2,000 people lost their jobs, starting from the suspension of activities due to the January 2020 Taal volcano eruption and the eventual ceasing of any outside activity because of the pandemic itself. Scuba diving has now become an Laos trademark and the means of the living for almost everyone in the area. The desperation to keep things going, even amid global tragedy, is now what drives them to push their business to continue opening. This is despite the odds not being in their favor and hardly any profit can be made within too few tourists daring to go out for the sake of an adventure. Let's now check Anilao's culture. So, part of what makes a tourist attraction enticing is the diversity of activities in the area. The people of Anilao understand this, and in 2013, the Anilao Underwater Shootout, which was eventually gained the moniker World Cup of Underwater Photo Competitions, was launched. Last December 1 to 5, the seventh iteration of the competition was held with 120 participants present. The participant headcount was a little lower than the last one held in 2018 with 220 participants, yet an impressive feat nonetheless. Notably, Wet Pixel has said that all 120 participants for this year were from all over the Philippines, and there was no mention of foreigners being present for the event. Yet, what is interesting about this entire endeavor is the Manila Bulletin report that the people of Anilao were going to be briefed by the Department of the Tourism on how to handle the influx of tourists. From this alone, it's not too far to say that scuba diving and the additional related tourism activities that branched out because of it had indeed become Anilao's primary source of income. It has then come to point that the entire community had to be brought in to ensure that the event would go to the way as it should be. So I'll be showing you a few personal images of mine when I discovered Anilao. So this is my picture when I did my first training in open water diving in Anilao. My instructor is Jaja. Her name is Jaja. This is me setting up my own gear because when you sign up for the open water diver course, you'll be the one to check everything. You'll be the one to carry your own tank and go in the water alone, and then you'll fix your own thing. So that was really a fun experience. I will never forget it. Very memorable. So that is me um, in the waters of Anilao. There you go. That is my very first picture when I tried. I just tried scuba diving that time. That was the first time. That is just a scuba diving discovery. And there you go. That's me. So I bought all the equipments and Nautilus, Makati. So I bought my own BCD, my own regulator, my own suit. I even bought my what do you call that? The boots. Yeah, I completed all the gears. I also have the fins. I have my fins ordered online, and then there you go. This was the day when I graduated on my open water course. Um, this is my friend who invited me to join. Um, these are the pictures that we got. Super memorable. It was a fun time. And this is my certificate. I completed a course last November 2021, and this is my account in Paddy. So I'm now an open water diver. That is the end of my presentation, and few last words. Anilao has changed rapidly in the last 40 years. What has been a fishing village for centuries is now one of the world's leading tropical tourist destination. But alongside with this seemingly positive change in the transformation that people of Anilao had to do to adjust the needs of their predominantly foreign clients, considering how volatile the tourism industry is, that the future of the newly brand capital of the world hangs at a delicate balance. Anilao depends on the industry's revenue so that the people will survive. As one disaster strikes after another, the question now remains: will Anilao will be able to transform itself again, just as it did all those years ago? Only time will tell.
Let me say, let me pour and not go flow. Let me reach, let me be.